Hello and welcome to the SEO plus AI show. I'm your host, Josh Bashinsky, and today I have with me my co-host, Greg Bassani. Say hi there, Greg.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Josh. How are you today?
I'm doing excellent. As I was just telling Greg, I've been forced into teaching a martial arts class tonight. Along with SEO, I also have 3 black belts. I've been doing martial arts and teaching it for many, many years. And now I got to do that. So now I'm doing this. I'm teaching martial arts. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's going on. So if you've never seen the SEO plus AI show before, we are the best show on the YouTubes about SEO and AI. SEO and AI is a place to be. All SEO is becoming AI. If you don't understand how AIs work, your SEO is not going to be as good. So no problem. So learn how AI works, watch the show, and your SEO is going to be fantastic. Today's show is going to be very fantastic. I'm going to help you make money. Today's show is how to make $2,000 a month doing SEO, or a large amount of money per month doing SEO. So we're going to be talking about that today, and primarily we're going to be talking about client SEO for that. How to make $2,000 a month doing client SEO, and we're going to show you the AI tools that we use that help us do that. So let's get right to it. How do you make $2,000 per month, at least doing SEO? Well, I've been doing SEO, as I said, for over 25 years, and I've made far more than $2,000 a month doing SEO. I've made 20, 30 grand per month doing SEO. It can be done. You can both do it yourself as a consultant, as an entrepreneur, working in your office, which is just an office in my basement. I work out of my house. You can also run an agency. You can run an agency from an office. You can run an agency from your own house. I've run an agency before. Greg's runs an agency. Ryan, who's often on the show, runs an agency as well. Many of my students in Underground SEO University run agencies, and really an agency comes naturally from consulting when there's just too many clients and too much work for you to handle yourself, which is also another thing we're going to be talking about today, how you scale. How do you scale out? So you might be like, Josh, okay, great. I like to make $2,000 a month. Who wouldn't like to make $2,000 a month? How do I make $2,000 a month? Well, you got to start small, right? So I'll tell you how I did it. Now, I don't know if it's legal, and I can't give legal advice, and I don't know if it's something you should do, but I started doing client SEO when I was still doing in-house SEO for other people. We did a show on in-house SEO last week, so check out our channel, SEO plus AI show, for the in-house SEO show we did last week. And I've done a number of videos on in-house SEO. So you can get a lot of information about how to do in-house SEO, how to make money there, how to do good SEO there. You can get information on how to do client SEO or affiliate SEO, which I talked about last week, and I'll partially talk about that this week as well. But the easiest way to make money fast in SEO is to take on clients. There is no end of people who need help with their SEO. Greg will attest, there's no end of businesses that need help with their SEO, and they have no idea what they're doing. That's because SEO is kind of a crapshoot. There's really bad information out there online. There's information that's really out of date, really old. And so you can learn SEO, you can have the new knowledge, and you can help a lot of people doing SEO. And how you would acquire those clients, I'll talk about in a little bit, but I'll tell you my story. So I was doing in-house SEO for people, and I was talking on Reddit, I'm talking on Black Hat World, I'm talking on forums, I'm talking on the Moz forum and whatnot. And there's just a lot of people, I was giving them knowledge on these things and like, hey, Josh, thanks for that. It's really helping me out. And it just kind of evolved from there. So you need to get into the forums first. You need to get onto shows like this. You need to start a show like this once you've learned enough knowledge. You need to get onto the forums, get onto Reddit, get onto places and be helping people, right? All the SEO forums that exist, all the private Facebook, all the Facebook groups that exist, you need to get on there. You need to help people just for free, just helping people for free. And that's how you start to get a name out there. And then you say, hey, if you need more help, private message me on all of these forums. And that's how you get people private messaging you. And that's where you're allowed to do the upsell. That's where you're allowed to say, hey, do this, do that. I do this for a living. Let's jump on a Zoom. I'll give you 5 minutes of help. And then they're really thankful for that usually, and that's how you start getting the clients coming in. You can also go into Upwork and start getting clients coming in. You can also go to Fiverr and start getting clients coming in. It is super easy to get clients coming in, really. It's just sweat equity, right? You need to have the knowledge. You need to learn SEO. You need to have the right tools. You need to have the knowledge. And then you need to go in the right places and talk to the right people. And if you spend enough time, you will get people asking you questions, because there's no end to people who have no idea what they're doing for SEO. So you will definitely get people asking you questions, and then you will get them. Then you will get them in a private chat. And a lot of people don't have a lot of time. They're like, hey, Josh, I don't have time to do this. How do I do this? How do I do that? Be like, you know what? If you pay me this much, I'll do it for you. If you want to sign up for this much, I'll do it for you. Now, I would start low on the per monthly retainers. You got to start somewhere. I would start at minimum $500 per month. You don't want to go less than $500 per month usually for Western clients, because that seems to look a little bit more unprofessional. It's a little bit more fly-by-night, in my opinion. And again, SEO takes time and takes money, right? That's for a full-service SEO kind of retainer per month. That's what I would start at. I would go on to PayPal. I'd start a batch invoice, a recurring invoice that gets sent to them every month for $500. It'll email you if they don't pay it. And that's automatic, right? Or you can do a subscription in PayPal, a subscription that fires every month. Tell them on a subscription that there's no refunds. You have to say that. I'm not a lawyer, I can't give legal advice, but I do know you should say no refunds on the subscription. Cancellation is up to you. Cancel anytime. You need to say those things. I think, again, I'm not a lawyer, can't give legal advice, but for my locality of where I am located in the world, I need to do those things. Same thing on the invoice as well. No refunds. Cancel anytime. That doesn't mean they won't ask for a refund. It just means that you have some recourse to say, hey, no refunds. You agreed to no refunds. And maybe in the PayPal arbitrage process, you could say, hey, no refunds. I'll give you 50% back. There's another pro tip. If anybody asks for a refund on PayPal, I would give them 50% back is what I would do. So if they ask for a refund on PayPal, I wouldn't give a full refund unless you feel like being nice or you think it was really your fault. I would give them some percentage back. And in my experience, that works much better in PayPal. PayPal usually sides on the buyer's behalf. So if you give half back, that's usually pretty fair, and give some reasons why you're giving half back only. And then PayPal, it will be more likely to be like, okay, you keep some of the money because you did some work. You get some of the money back because you're complaining. Easy peasy. So there's another pro tip that I've learned from many, many painful years of having to do the occasional PayPal refund. Give half back or some percentage back, and that way you get to keep some money based on some of the work that you've done. Usually what happens is you haven't managed the client's expectation, which I'll talk about in a second as well, how to do that. You haven't managed the client expectations well enough, and they're like, you haven't ranked it fast enough, I want all my money back. Something completely unreasonable. Clients can often be completely unreasonable. But so too can affiliate niches that you're trying to work in. The affiliate companies can be completely unreasonable too. I still think client SEO is the place to be to make money, or in-house SEO, one or the other. It depends if you want security versus freedom. If you want security, I would go with an in-house SEO job. You have to deal with your boss, make sure you pick your boss well, but you have more security, slightly more. If you want freedom, you want to work in your own house, you don't have to commute and all those kinds of things, that leans more towards a client SEO or run an agency out of your house kind of a job. And those kind of clients, they can be quite unreasonable. And if they ask for a refund that's totally unreasonable, you can say, hey, this is totally unreasonable. I've already done the work. You know that SEO is not guaranteed, but I've shown you these boosts. And you might be like, Josh, how do I show them boosts? I don't even know how to get them. I'll show you that in a second, how to do the boosts with SEO plus AI. I'm getting through all the golden tips before I get there. That'll set you up for success. You need to set yourself up for success. So listen to these golden tips to set yourself up for success. And then, you've shown how you've done some boosts. You've shown how you've done the work. You show the emails back and forth. You show the Basecamp or whatever it is you're using. You say to PayPal, look, I'll give them 50% back. I did the work, but they're upset, so I'll give 50%. And that way you get to keep some of that money, which is a good thing. You don't want to have to give back any money if you don't have to. Here's some other pro tips. A really good SEO AI tool that Greg and I use, because we built it, is Keyword Spy. Here's how you make money in 24 hours using Keyword Spy. You can make money in 24 hours using Keyword Spy. This is how you do it. First, go to trykeywordspy.com, sign up for free for 2 weeks, no credit card needed, no email needed. Then what you do is you sign up for Upwork or you sign up for Fiverr, and you sell keyword reports for $74 for a report. And then you run keyword reports. You could do a spray and pray, it takes 5 minutes. You can do the full report. It'll be much more accurate and give them much better data. That takes like an hour. And then within an hour, you have a report you can sell for $74. You can sell those all day long. And then you can upsell them after that. Do you want an audit on your site? That's another $200. Do you want this? Do you want that? Do you want me to do the on page for you? That's another $200. Hey, why don't you just sign up for my $500 per month and I'll do all this for you. I'll do 5 hours at $500 an hour. That's what I would charge per hour, is $100 per hour. I wouldn't go lower than that. You might want to start lower than that if you're just starting out, you don't have any knowledge, and you want to get some good testimonials, and you got to manage the client expectations ahead of time. Which I'll talk about later as well, but you need to tell them, hey, I want testimonials out of this. I'll give you $50 an hour, but I want good testimonials out of this, and get them to agree in writing to that. That, again, they don't have to obey that. No one has to obey anything. Nothing is legal, as Hobbes said, until the sword is employed. And so nothing is legal or illegal until lawyers get involved and small claims courts get involved. You can say anything you want. That's just to cover your ass later if lawyers ever get involved. It is a psychological point of leverage where if you get something in writing ahead of time, they feel like, oh, okay, I'm going to do it because they have it in writing, so I don't want it to go to lawyers. So again, they might be a little bit more psychologically disposed to doing what they said they were going to do. Everyone has to be honest. Everyone has to be a good person and in good faith. They have to say what the contract's going to be, and you got to do what you said you're going to do, and they got to do what they said they're going to do. And if you have that in a little bit of writing, even email is fine ahead of time. Again, I'm not a lawyer, can't give legal advice, but in my experience, an email is fine. You have it in writing and say, hey, look, here we are. We said we're going to do this. Manage their expectations. That manages their expectations of what's going to happen. And there's other ways you can manage your expectations. So here's a quick pro tip on how you can make money within an hour. Sign up for Upwork, sign up for Fiverr. You can't sell things on these forums directly. All of these SEO forums don't let you sell in the forums unless you buy an ad. If you buy an ad, you can sell in the forums. But you can sell in private messages later on and say, hey, I don't mean to upsell you, because they really hate on the SEO forums being upsold for some reason. Everyone is really entitled these days for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. And I think the YouTube generation, so I'm an elder millennial / Gen X. I'm just on the cusp. Anyone younger than me is an elder millennial. And the millennials and Gen Z really seem to think, and hey, I like free stuff too, but everyone really seems to think, the YouTube generation, that everything should be free. That's kind of a bridge you need to gap. So you need to tell them upfront ahead of time, listen, I do this for a living. I'm happy to help you out, as much as I can. But, I do this for a living. I'm a good guy. I need money. If you can help me out, I could do a keyword report for you that gives you thousands of keywords that are guaranteed to boost your pages for only $74. It takes you 5 minutes. Don't tell them that. If you're using Keyword Spy, it'll take you 5 minutes to do it in spray and pray. You can give them the keyword report afterwards, show them the scoring of what words you should be using, the phrases you should be using, how you should focus the page. You extract it into CSV, give it to them, or you copy and paste it into a Word document that you make with more upsells and more SEO tips in it. Give it to them. You sell that all day long. You make $74 or $50 a pop. You sell 10 of those a day. You're making $500 a day. $500 a day US isn't half bad. You can do that in 24 hours. You can get up and running and start going on Upwork and Fiverr, making money right away. So that's my pro tip on how you can make money, immediately. Again, using Keyword Spy. Go to trykeywordspy.com, sign up for free for 2 weeks. Again, no credit card, no emails needed. And you can see what the other stuff that the system can do. You can give featured snippets. You can get, I'll get you your featured snippet. Here you go, boom. You use AI Spy, featured snippet, boom, you can do that. And I'm going to show you all this, how you do it easily in the system in a couple seconds. In fact, Greg can get some reports ready too as well, and he can share them later on as I yammer on and give you all the pro tips. So those are the preliminary tips of how you get into it. Those are preliminary tips of how you start getting customers. But you're like, okay, Josh, all right, fine. But how do I do SEO? How do I do SEO? How do I sell these things? How do I sell them on the knowledge? How do I have the knowledge? How do I do the SEO? How do I do it fast? How do I do it expediently? How do I do it in a time-sensitive manner so that I could actually make money in that hour and not be doing it for hours and hours and hours and hours? Okay, for that, you need to use an AI tool. And of course, I'm just talking for on-page. There's other knowledge you need as well. So for the general knowledge, I would join my Underground SEO University. Underground SEO University has been running for 6 years. We teach how to do full SEO, and the testing we do in that is second to none. And all that testing is behind Keyword Spy, our on-page tool, which you would use for your on-page. If you're interested in SEO University, email me at joshpachynski@gmail.com. That's JOSH, B as in Bob, ACH, Y as in YouTube, N as in Nancy, SKI@gmail.com with secret sauce in the subject line. And I can give you a discount for Underground SEO University. That's how you would get the general knowledge. But if you're like, Josh, knowledge schmowledge, I just want to run a tool and go, Fine. We have a tool that you can use as well. It does all your on-page SEO that you need right now, building out your pages, choosing out your niches, building out your pages, doing reports, finding the right keywords, building your pages after you've chosen the right niches. Does a featured snippet as well. Do your H1s, your titles, your URLs, your meta descriptions. It does all that automatically for you. Even writes the article automatically for you. Guaranteed to rank if you follow our instructions, if you follow the proper instructions, and if you have a healthy site. Guaranteed to rank. Now, I talked a lot about keyword discovery last week and niche research and discovery last week, so I'm not going to talk about that this week. I'm going to get right into the reports and how you would do the on-page. It really is important to make sure you do the keyword discovery, and it's a gem in the tool of Keyword Spy. I'll mention it really quickly in passing when we go there and take a look at it, but it'd be keyword discovery you want to take a look at to do the niche research to find the easier keywords to rank for to begin with. You need to have a solid base. You need to have a big site ranking for a lot of queries, and to do that, you need to rank for the low-hanging fruit to start off with. You would find the low-hanging fruit that makes you the most money and is the easiest with the absolute best AI to analyze competition. We have the absolute best AI to analyze competition in Keyword Spy under Keyword Discovery. I'll mention that in a second. But if you want a better tutorial of how to use that, check out the video we did last week in the live section on youtube.com/jbashins. That's where you're watching this. youtube.com/jbashins, JBACHYNS. Under live shows, we did that last week. And then we're going to be doing a produced show of that in a couple of weeks. It'll be published. Okay, so you need to know how to do SEO, obviously. You're like, okay, Josh, I know where to find the customers. I know how to sell the customers. I know how to change them from people I'm helping for free into customers. I have some quick tips on how to make money really, really quick. But how do I get them to that $2,000 a month? Well, you need to have enough SEO knowledge. You can fill a 20-hour month with that customer or more. And to do that, you need to learn the SEO. So again, join Underground SEO University if you're kind of clueless on SEO completely. Or if you already kind of know SEO, but you need a tool to go faster, and you need a tool that will do the AI work, heavy lifting for you to find the right keywords and to improve your on-page SEO to guarantee that you're going to rank if you follow our recommendations and if you have a healthy site. Again, we can guarantee you will rank. If you do the keyword discovery, if you go for the easiest niches, if you have a healthy site, if you do the report, if you do the generate article, and if you follow all of our rules in terms of having your numbers in the green, I guarantee you're going to rank in Google somewhere. So we know because we have all the statistical data of who's ranking back end in the system, and we can see what works and what doesn't. And we can extrapolate from that exactly what you need to do. Never mind all the testing we've done and the reverse engineering we've done in Underground SEO University. So we've got you covered in terms of being an SEO consultant. You can start being an SEO consultant. That's possible for you. And you can learn what to do, and you can get a tool that does it for you super, super fast. Instead of doing 20 hours of work to rank one page, you can do 2 hours of work and rank one page. Guaranteed. That's not a bad deal, right? That's pretty good. Let me tell you, however, some huge tips and some huge pitfalls here that people fall into that you need to avoid. Tip number one of what you need to avoid: do not go on the rumors of yesteryear. Don't listen to basically anyone in SEO who's just selling, like a front-facing course. I have a private course, a front-facing course. You can't trust them. A big blogger you can't really trust. They don't really know what they're doing with SEO. Don't trust it's going to sound ironic, but don't trust people in forums. Just like I told you to go to forums and help people, don't trust those other people in the forums because they tend not to really understand and be really kind of tight-lipped with their knowledge. I make my money by giving good information and actually proving that you're ranking, and that's how we make our money. If that wasn't the case, then I wouldn't have any students and I wouldn't have any clients and I wouldn't have any customers. So that's how I make my money. I made my business model that way on purpose because that's the only way to hold someone to account is that someone who's giving free advice and you buy an ebook, they don't care if you rank, right? So you can't really trust those kind of guys. I would recommend, you might believe me, you might not, fine. But I would just really caution people against that. That's just my 2 cents. It's just my opinion. I'd caution people against that. The next thing is you don't want to use the wrong tool either. That's too expensive. You don't want to use SEMrush or Ahrefs. You don't want to use Jasper. You don't want to use all these other Surfer. You don't want to use Pop. You don't want to use Quora. Sorry, but these tools don't have any guarantees of ranking. They don't prove to you the guarantees of ranking, which I did last week and I could show you again. We just recently got this out of the system. Let me show you. We have a contest we do every month to every quarter. And these were the contests. This is true data from the back end of the system. This guy boosted 2 spots. This guy boosted 2 spots. This guy boosted 2 spots from 7 to 5 in a printing niche, up 2 spots in a vehicle niche, up 3 spots in an e-commerce niche, up 2 spots in a gaming niche, from 6 to 3 non-English, boosted to page 1, up 5 spots in a gaming niche. In just 1 month, up 6 spots to number 3 in a non-English niche. So we do other languages other than English as well. Right now, we're doing very well in German and Dutch. We've translated all of our information to that in terms of the back-end AI engineering. We also do other languages as well. They're not quite as good. We're working to incorporate those languages as we go. But English, German, and Dutch work really well. We have a lot of customers in Europe who enjoy the scientific kind of aspect or nature of our tool. So I think you will too. Up 1 month, up 7 spots, up 8 spots, up 9 spots, 13 spots, 20 spots, 15 spots, up 25 plus spots, 23, 35, and 76. This was the winner. Amos Struck, who won. Congratulations. He boosted 76 spots. He had the highest boost out of the whole system. And this is just a snippet of some of the boosts we've had recently. So this is not cherry-picked testimonials from 5 years ago that might be fake in the first place. You have my word. This is actual data in the actual system. My undergrad at SEO University knows this because I show it to them. You can ask anybody in the group. They'll tell you, yeah, those are actual. That's actual data of actual winners. And I also showed the group the losers and what not to do. If you want to see that information, join undergrad at SEO University. We share all that information because that's what we're about. It's a university. It's about learning. Yeah, so you definitely want to use a system, a tool that proves it can work for you. You want to see the proof. You want to see the data. And we use that data to extract and know that, for example, if you're 1 to 10 points under the content score in our system, under the competitors, the competitor median, if you're 1 to 10 points under that, you can expect on average a 12-spot boost for your on-page. Can any other tool promise you a 12-spot boost for your on-page if you're in the right numbers with a healthy site? I don't think so. None of them can. None of them would dare to say such a thing because they don't have the data. They don't even bother testing. Why is the SEO industry that way? I don't know. I'm not really sure why it's so chintzy like that. But that's something I'm trying to avoid. It's something Greg and I are trying to change. And that's just, how we roll. So, okay, you might be like, all right, Josh, well then, fine. How does the system work? How do we get the reports going? How do I do these reports? How do I check these things in the system? And how would I structure my contract? Well, easy. Let me tell you how you would structure your contract. So to get up to $2,000 a month, I always bill by the hour. Do not bill by the page. Here's another pro tip. Never, ever, ever, ever bill by the page. The only scenario in which I would bill by the page is where I've agreed with the client. I've checked that I have a WordPress login. I've checked that I have access to write to it. I've checked that I have an area of the site that I can write articles without any client input and without any client interference. And I know that the navigation structure of the site supports these articles. They're not like some resources section that's only linked to in the sidebar, which is getting 50% page rank anyway, because did you know that sidebar links only get 50% page rank? And that's people have known this forever in the page rank algorithm. I recently tested and confirmed it. Where your link on the page matters, guys. Your internal linking structure matters. And so if you're building pages in a blog that is, it's already ranking, then fine. Then be like, sure, I'll charge by the page. If you know that the client will never, ever interfere and never bother you and you could just do it. That's the only time I would ever charge by the page. Otherwise, I always charge by the hour. And you have to manage the client expectations. You have to charge by the hour and say, you've got 20 hours at $100 an hour. I bill out at $1,000 an hour. And so I give it to my SEO manager to do. I bill to the quarter hour. So every time you email me, it's $250 if you're a client. So I try to keep myself out of it. And I try to let my SEO manager handle things and my employees handle things that have been trained up to use, again, the tactics of undergrad SEO University and have been trained up to use Keyword Spy and getting good results with it. And you've got to manage the client expectations. You've got to be like, okay, yeah, sure, answering their questions, being polite, being friendly, giving them the information they need, telling them, okay, well, if you don't do this audit, we won't see all the sharks under the water, and the sharks could be biting us. We'll never know, or things like, okay, we did the audit, but you don't say this, but basically this is what you're implying. We did the audit, but you're leery on making any changes now. But if we don't make these changes, these pages don't have any internal links. They're never going to rank. These pages have a page speed of 20. They're never going to rank. These pages, have these on-page problems, but you don't want me to change the content. So that's never going to rank. So it's a waste of our time for me to work on these things. So I'm going to do the next best thing for you, which is working on off-page, doing reference rank, doing entity vector, doing off-page mentions and things like that, doing off-page links, things like that. That's going to generally help the site in general. But you got to manage the client expectations. You got to be polite. You got to remind them, though, always remind them that, hey, remember when we did that audit and I said we needed to do X, Y, and Z, and for whatever reason we didn't want to do X, Y, and Z at the time? Well, I can't do the on-page because it'll never work if we don't do X, Y, and Z. Don't waste your time in theirs. Don't waste your time in theirs doing work that's not going to get the big results, right? Everyone knows that links takes time. Just push them off to links if you need to. How do you do links? I'm going to have to cover that in a whole different show. Join Underground SEO University. There's huge pitfalls there. If you do them wrong, you can definitely hurt a site. Huge pitfalls there. Don't just start throwing links at a site. Email me, I'll help you out, joshpashinsky@gmail.com. Or if you really want to learn how to do all this SEO, join Underground SEO University. Who knows, in the future, we might have some more of this stuff built into Keyword Spy. We want to pimp it out with more SEO features. Right now, it does on-page, and it does it very well. We're going to build supporting pages in it as well, page clusters in it as well. Internal linking analysis, we're thinking of building in. I got some prototyped AIs starting to get worked out there, stuff like that. It'll start doing actual SEO audits, not bullcrap technical audits like the other tools do, but actual AI-based, like an SEO consultant audits. It'll start doing those things. Workflows we're going to start to build in, stuff like that. That's why we're still in beta right now. That's why we have a grandfather price of $144 a month. I would suggest getting on there now because we're just going to ramp out this tool to basically be an SEO in a box. In the future, in over the coming years. I would get in on the grandfather price now. It's definitely going to be higher later on. That's just my 2 cents. Take it or leave it. If you're like, I won't do it for now, Josh, that's fine. That's fine too. Just listen to the free knowledge. So you got to manage a client expectation. You got to charge by the hour. Don't charge by the page because why not, Josh? Why not charge by the page? Because this is what's going to happen. What's going to happen is you're going to do a page. You're going to be, okay, the page is ready. And they're going to be like, what's the login? You're going to go back and forth for hours in the login. Then they're going to be like, oh, it's not working. You're going to go back and forth troubleshooting and fixing their WordPress. Oh, this happened. You're going to be going back and forth arguing with them about the title tag and the URL and this and that. And every page takes like 5 hours at the end of the day. On average, every page takes 3 to 5 hours at the end of the day. I've checked the stats. Every page takes at least 3 to 5 hours at the end of the day. So do not charge by the page, or at least be like, okay, each page is $500, and that's your 5 hours at $100 per hour. You could do that too, and you could prorate it. I would just charge by the hour, and just either way, you have to manage their expectations. Either way, you need to manage their expectations as what they're getting and how fast it'll take. Here's another pro tip about Keyword Spy. So let me actually start showing you the tool here. When it comes to managing client expectations, here's another really good pro tip, which is really, really important. So here's keyword discovery here. It's the first thing on the top left. This is where you would do the competitive research and you'd tell the AI, do you plan on using AI content? Are you a top level expert? Is ChatGPT going to write this? We'll definitely select this because it's going to make it much harder to rank. Are you a powerful site already? Blah, 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 blah. Now you go here to some of these keywords here. The beautiful thing about Keyword Spy is the keyword difficulty report here. And when it comes to managing client expectations, you can show them this report. And again, I'm not going to go over this fully because I did this last week fully, but you can go over this keyword report and say, look how difficult, or in this case, easy. An average difficulty of 20% is pretty easy. So when you're managing client expectations, you can go and say, look how easy it's going to be, or look how hard it's going to be. If I got EMQ is in the title, EMQ is in the page. These people have done some slightly better on page. What their page rank is it 2.6? Is it 3 out of 10? Is it 2.8 out of 10? Is it 3.3 out of 10? Page rank was originally a percentage, 100%, even though it was 1 to 10 originally in the toolbar. But don't let that fool you. In the original page rank paper, it's a percentage. It's 100%. It's a 0.01 to 0.99 score. So that's why we list this here in a percentage. So this is a pretty high page rank from pretty good links, right? If they have a high page rank and low links, hey, these are good quality links these guys got. Because it's a trusted site like NerdWallet, they're being fully supported, fully allowed. But look, the EMQ site focus is not on this keyword. The title focus is only 18% on the keyword. The page focus is only 20% on this keyword. They don't have the EMQ in the URL. EMQ stands for exact match query, the specificity of the exact keyword. They don't mention it in the page, in the title, or in the URL. This is a very easy site to knock off. These guys are just getting these rankings because no one else has tried yet. That's the reason why. So that's one way to manage your client expectations, is to have a keyword difficulty report like this and show it to them and say, hey, look, this is the kind of keyword we should go for. It's really easy to get. And if they're like, well, what can you guarantee me in terms of where we'll go? Well, I can tell you right now, based on statistical data that has been supported over months, if you do a keyword discovery report, and if you have a healthy enough site that doesn't have like a penalty or anything, that doesn't take like a week to index a page, or some pages don't even index at all, that's how you can tell if your site's healthy or not. If you're already ranking on page 2 at least, or 3, your site's probably fairly healthy. Unless you used to be ranking spot 1, page 1, and you recently got hit and that's what happened, then you're not healthy. But saving all those things, assuming you have a healthy site, if you see a 20% here, the rule of thumb is you double this number and that's the spot you'll come in at. So I guarantee to you, and you can guarantee this to your client as well, within a few weeks, probably within a week or so of doing the on-page for this, following our system in the editor, doing a report, doing a keyword discovery report for this, going for the easy keywords, doing a keyword spy report, viewing it here to make sure it's okay, then going in the editor and following our numbers, which I'm going to show you in a second. Super easy how to do it. If you follow all of that, you will come at spot 40. You will come in at spot 40. That's where you will come in. I can guarantee it to you, right? So you can also tell the client that. You can take that to the bank. You'd be like, okay, in a few weeks, we should get spot 40 for this, assuming everything goes okay. Meaning that you have a healthy site, meaning that you follow all the recommendations in here in the editor and in the reports. Well, basically in the editor. The reports are just a summation. It's in the editor where you're going to get all that information from. So that's another great way where you can manage customer expectation or client expectation. What other SEO tool gives you a solid date, gives you a solid position of where you can come in, which is backed by statistical data? I'm not aware of any of them. Greg, are you aware of any other tool that does that?
No, when we were researching, there was a tool, and I think it's been discontinued, and it did similar to this layout, and it actually kind of estimated, where you could potentially fall on page 1. But even that did not give, like, hey, you're going to rank on page whatever, 40, page 4 or 5. I don't even think it went to that extent. So that one, the closest came to what we're doing. Currently, there is nothing out there. They just, give you keyword difficulties, or they really filter data. Could be junk data, but they do a good job with filtering, and people are so amazed that, oh my God, I can do all these filters. Yeah. But junk in, junk out. That's I'm not here to preach this, but it's it's something we're proud of, that we're doing it in such a way that is actually backed by some real strong data, as you can see in the top there. All these metrics that we're incorporating is definitely not being done.
Yeah. And it really is too bad that a lot of garbage in, garbage out, a lot of make money quick online for SEO, sadly, which, we know some of the villains in that regard, and trying to make money quick online and scam people selling ebooks and stuff like that. Okay, so let's talk about how you are going to make money. Let's talk about the positive of how you're going to make $2,000 a month. So this is how you start. This is how you build up. You can manage your client expectation by doing that. So again, you should run a report. You should see the final ROI of the pages you should be trying to rank for. That takes the money behind them, how popular they are this year, the traffic, gets the keyword ROI, the keyword difficulty. You get the final ROI. Go for the right keywords to begin with and get the juicy rankings. Now, you might be like, however, what if I want to rank for one of these? For example, like small business funding. You click here, you click Start Keyword Report, you pick a location, you go 100 top. I'd go spray and pray to go fast if you want to go fast, but if you want to do the most accurate testing, that takes up to an hour. But right now, I'll just do spray and pray so it goes quickly. Google.com, English, etc. Get that out of the way and then go. So already it's running, it's analyzing. The spray and pray works really quickly. The longer reports take longer for here. So let me show you. So we also have built-in tutorials that show you how to do the whole system. We got all kinds of suggestions if this is going on or what's happening to help you out with your SEO. The most accurate testing here takes up to an hour because we're building, not always 15 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes, because it depends on how busy the system is, because we're actually building for you the actual AIs that Google uses. We're building actual models for you. So let me show you here quickly the actual systems that Google actually uses. This is published by Google. These are the AIs they actually use that we rebuild and have a system for you. BERT, and no one else has BERT built into the systems. We have it built in. Deduplication systems, we avoid that. Exact match systems, we include that. Freshness systems, we're building AIs to incorporate that. Helpful content system, we have our own proprietary scoring system for this that uses the exact questions they ask. Here's the questions. We actually built a system, an AI on these actual questions that Google uses, that you use to self-assess your content. We actually have that built in. And I'll quickly go through the rest of it. So MUM, we take into account. Link analysis and page rank, as you saw there, we take into account in keyword discovery. Neural matching is a huge ranking factor that nobody else has a system for, that we remodel a system for you. That's what actually takes the longest time. Original content systems, we have a system for. Passage ranking system, we have a system for. RankBrain is another AI that's a huge AI. It is the primary ranking AI of theirs that we have a system for, that we take into account that nobody else takes into account. A review system we take into account. The review content, which used to be the product content, we take into account as well. And we have a proprietary system asking questions just like the helpful content. Spam detection, we have a system taking that into account as well. So we have all those systems built in the system. If you do the most accurate testing, that gets the most built in. You'd select 500, you put your keyword in here, you put in location. Or you can do 10 here up to bulk in spray and pray if you're doing page clusters and trying to flesh out the site fast. These don't rank as well as these, but they rank perfectly fine, actually, quite frankly, in going spray and pray. That's another thing you can sell to your client. Build out topical clusters, right? You build out the clusters, you build 10 pages at once. You do the spray and pray testing, and you get the reports. Then you go in the editor, which I'll show you in a second, and you automatically generate the articles, upload them, easy peasy. It's done in 10 minutes per page. So that's super easy, and that's how you build out the supporting pages on a site. And they're not quite ranking pages. They're supporting pages that people call them silos. People call them topical clusters. And you're building those out to quickly get something for your client. It helps manage customer expectations. It helps make you look good. It makes you look professional, and you can build these pages out really quickly. Now, the quality on these pages is not perfect. We're building a high quality article system you can use. It eats up more of your credits in the system, but they are much higher quality articles. Here's another pro tip. You got to manage your customer expectations, and it depends on how picky your clients are. Sometimes clients get really, really picky. I know Greg knows about this as well. Sometimes clients get really, really picky, and they're like, I don't like this article. I don't like that article. We want it formatted better. So we're building a high quality article system to format them better. But we also have the quick and dirty spray and pray system that can auto generate the article after. If you click auto generate article right here, you see I clicked auto generate article. And then the high quality article checkbox is going to go right here. And then you put in an author, like, okay, I'm John Smith, expert in whatever, small business loans or whatever you're doing. Choose where in the sales cycle you're going to go. That actually has a choice in terms of building the articles in the system. And then you can tell it to do the URL as well, the title, the meta description. You also can give an angle or perks, like if you have 25% off, or you get free parking, or buy one, get one free, or an angle like the sale is on now. You check out our info, check out our free guide, get our best review, whatever we're selling, the angle for the meta description, and you do the heading as well. You can do all that here. Get out of the way, Zoom. You could click continue, and you can get that going as well after the report is done. And it emails you when everything is complete. You go and have a beer and wait for the AI to do all the on-page work for you. And so that's where automation comes in. Automation is such an important piece of SEO. If you don't have automation, it really is not going to be viable to be able to do SEO moving forward. That's where SEO plus AI really comes in, is in AI-based automation. And that's why we made this system, is because we realized to do the proper keyword research. Let me show you a report. So the spray and pray is completed here. Let me show you a full report. To do a full report and find your RankBrain entities and to see which entities are most important for RankBrain, and to do a full report and find out which entities, which are phrases for both RankBrain and BERT, are going to be important for BERT, like for Photo Booth AI, explore Photo Booth with AI technology, discover the latest advancements in AI Photo Booths, find an AI-powered Photo Booth, AI-powered Photo Booth, automated photo editing, customizable photo templates, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All these important entities for BERT. To find all the important entities for neural matching, which in this one is a bad example. There's only 2 of them, AI Photo Booth, because this is too new. If I show you a different report, for example, let's see, digital signage softwares, see in neural matching, you're going to see different ones here, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, of all these different metonyms that neural matching AI matches, which is different than BERT keywords and is different than RankBrain keywords. Do you know how long it takes to find all 3 of these? A very, very long time, right? A very, very long time it takes to find all 3 of these.
You may want to mention, more importantly, I think most people will recognize the term in most of these tools is NLP or LSI. These tools give NLP and LSI, and the difference between those 3 AIs that you're talking about that Google uses versus NLP and LSI, and why this is just superior. Because of, if you're trying to rank on Google, that is, if you're trying to rank somewhere else, maybe LSI works or NLP, but for Google, this is what they're using, so thus it's more superior.
Right. So, yeah, no, exactly. That's a really good point. So here's another pro tip for doing client SEO, for doing any SEO really, because you can't be an amateur. Right? You can't be an amateur doing client SEO. It's just not going to work. It's going to come off as amateurish. You're not going to get the successes, and therefore the clients are going to quit, right? You need to have a tool that knows what it's doing, and you need to know what you're doing, or at least your tool needs to know what it's doing. You don't need to know a lot you don't need to know any on-page SEO. Just follow the tool, and it'll do it all for you.
And you may be saying this, but before I forget, because I have a tiny brain and I forget quickly.
No problem.
I think the purpose here is, be an educator as well. If you're talking to a client and you start talking about Google's AIs, educate them on it. Use this tool, learn them, listen to Josh, not me, but definitely become the educator yourself, and you will sign up more clients and you know what to do with, because the second that you show you are not following the current of every other SEO out there, and you can back this up by showing them this page, just like Josh has done. People will be like, okay, this dude or gal knows what they're talking about. They're not BSing me, and they're not regurgitating stuff they saw on YouTube, which they've probably watched themselves. So be an educator, teach your client. You will make more money than you know what to do with. That is my 2 cents on that.
And that's a great 2 cents. That's worth more than 2 cents right there. That could make or break someone's career right there. That was a tens of $1,000 tip, what that was. You're absolutely right. Yeah, be an educator and teach them how to make it work. But let me show you this here. So Greg mentioned the other tools that use LSI as a basis or NLP as a basis. Okay, great. So we presume that Google is using LSI and NLP in their systems, right? Okay, well, let me find where they talk about NLP. Where are they talking about NLP in here? Do they talk about NLP? Zero. There is zero mention of NLP in the Google systems. Oh, okay, well, maybe they call it natural language processing, because in AI, that's what it stands for, natural language. Natural language is mentioned nowhere in this page. They don't use it. That is not one of the ranking algorithms. It's not here, right? And we know, and if you're like, well, Google lies, Josh. Well, yes, they do lie. Google lies. But why would they not have it here if it wasn't a thing, right? The NLP demo that they released is not an AI they use to rank things. It is not. We've tested it. We've tested whether it's in there. It is not. Okay? We know it's in there. And it happens to corroborate what they're talking about here. So I know they're telling the truth on this page. Oh, okay. Well, what about LSI? Surely LSI is listed here somewhere. No, LSI is not listed here anywhere. Zero. Not on this page. They don't do it. Oh, well, it stands for latent semantic indexing. Maybe latent semantic indexing is here. Nope, not here. They don't use it. That's why people who use other tools don't rank all the time. The tools don't care if you rank. They just care if their marketing is good enough. They just put a lot of money in top of funnel and just keep cranking it out and wasting money in top of funnel with having churn and arbitrage of people leaving the system because they're not ranking and don't have any money anymore. If they suck up all the oxygen in the room as the only tool, well, then they're going to make money whether they help you rank or not. And people just get used to it for some reason. I don't know why. It's like people used to a bad relationship just get used to it and they don't leave. So anyway, LSI and NLP are not ranking systems, not in Google's ranking system. They're not. LSI and NLP are old. They're ancient. They're not what Google is using. They are not what Google is using. If they were using them, they'd be listed here. They're not listed here, right? They even listed Hummingbird, Panda, Penguin, which they're not using anymore. They don't use those things anymore. The new Panda system is called Coty, and they don't mention it here, which is interesting, but that could be part of the helpful content system, quite frankly, is what that could be part of. Yeah, so that's a good thing to keep in mind. So that's why you're not going to see LSI and NLP in here, because they don't use it. We know they use these, and we've reverse engineered and tested these. So we've got the information here. We're building those systems for you. We're going to tell you what the actual keywords are here for these various things. And then finally, however, the results. So that's what I wanted to show you and tell you. So this is the page you would use. You would copy and paste. You'd export to CSV, or you just copy and paste it like this. You could just highlight this thing and copy and paste it here like so, and go down and say, okay, here's all the keywords. Here's the different tests that we do. Here's our proprietary scoring system, which adds them all up. We also score the phrases you should be using as well, or should be considering using. The ones that have a score I would consider using anyway. And these higher scored words are the ones that are going to have a higher ranking based on the BERT, the neural matching and rank brain tests, and you get a tallied up score. These, you don't have to copy and paste these if you don't want to. These are automatically ported over into the editor, which I'm going to show you in a second. So this is what you could sell for $74. Be like, okay, I've done it. Here it is. And you can sell spray and pray ones for in 5 minutes if you want. The spray and pray ones just don't have this test done and don't have this test done. They just have the one BERT test done, which quite often is enough to give you an idea of what phrases you should be using and what keywords you should be using. The BERT test alone is as good as some other tools. And then with these other extra tests built in, which do take a little bit more time because we have to build models for you, which takes time. It takes time to build AI models and to test things. But the testing is secure, and then we have the new points for it, and we can change the scoring of words. And that'll change the scoring of words up or down slightly every little bits here and there. Okay, let me see if there's any questions here before I move on. If you have any SEO questions at all, please go ahead and ask them. I see some SEO questions. Fantastic. So the firm in UK says, great tip so far, Josh. Thank you. You're welcome. He also says, keyword reports are not easy to sell on Fiverr. Too many cheap $5 gigs. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, you could sell them for $5 too. If they're selling for $5 and upselling for like $20, you could sell them for $5 too. Again, with spray and pray, it takes 5 minutes. So you could consider doing that. Furman says, Keyword Spy looks amazing, but it's expensive for a non-agency. That's interesting. You think the $144 a month is expensive for a non-agency? That's interesting. Let me know what you think about that. When you're charging $500 for one client, I don't see how $144 a month is expensive. I think the time-saving things where you can just crank out pages from keyword discovery and crank out pages from the editor, I think the time savings you get there to do SEO super fast, I think is definitely worth the price. It's what we do, and we make money hand over fist. There might be a ramping up issue, and I understand that it's like, okay, how do I get from point A to point B? I've got no clients and no money. How do I get from there to there? I get that. And you do have 2 weeks for free with Keyword Spy, and we do have the low price of $144 a month grandfathered right now. But yeah, you gotta spend money to make money at some point. He also asks, can you show what the Keyword Spy features are and also what is added with the AI features? Yep, I'm showing that now. He says, does Keyword Spy help rank new sites, or is it aimed at established sites? Both. It'll do both. A new site is not going to have, it'll be healthy, but it won't have some other signals. So it might be slightly worse, but The Furman says, not the 144. I only saw the 244 plan. Yeah. For people who listen to the show, email us. We can give you the 144 pricing. We can get you the 144 pricing during this beta phase. We can definitely do the 144 pricing. Email me at joshpaczynski@gmail.com or email hello@trykeywordsspy.com to email Greg. He's the guy who will get you the discount. So you agree that 144 is a fair price then, Furman UK? The Furman UK says, nice, thanks. Let me know what you think again of the 144 price. I think that's fair, given everything it gets you, how fast you can build pages out of it. Even if, however, your competitors on Fiverr are charging $5 for a keyword report, you can do the same. You can match them, and you can sell a lot of those to get yourself going, right? He says, I can make that work until I get clients or sell gigs. Yeah. So I agree. I mean, that is a viable price, right? Now, that's not the forever price. That's going to increase because they're going to start doing SEO for you. I would get in on it now and build up now is what I would do. And if you're listening to this like a year later, email us. And, I'm not making any promises, but we'll see what we can do. But I don't want to turn people away, a year later and turn them off. But when we have a system that is doing all that SEO for you, it really starts making it viable. But like Ahrefs is more money, SEMrush is more money, and they do far, far less. And you would need those tools anyway. If you want to rank in SEO, you're going to need an AI tool to do it. That's kind of the thing you need to keep in mind. If you want to do SEO, you're going to need a tool. So this is where you're selling off your knowledge, and then you're getting $500 a month clients, and then you can afford the $144 a month kind of price. And then you're cooking with gas kind of a thing. Okay, so as requested, so that's the reports you would sell them. You don't need to copy and paste this or anything if you're going to build the pages out. And what do the pages look like? So let's go to the editor. So let's choose small business funding here. And let's click generate article. And let's see how that works. So let's just say I'm John Smith, expert in small business loans. We're going to say small business funding is in the middle of the sales funnel. We're going to say that. Let's do the URL, the title, the meta description. Don't have an angle, don't have any perks. And say heading level 1 and say continue. So the report is going to start generating now. Usually it takes about 5 minutes on average or so. So let me show you the different content scores that we got going on here and the stuff on the side. So under the SEO tab is where all the URL, the title, all that meta description stuff is going to be. We have a brief, which is going to generate after it's done, that you could give to a writer that gives them a content brief where they can edit this, they could change this article, or they can write it from scratch, giving them kind of the outline of what it is they need to do. In terms of the scoring that I said need to be in the green to give you that guarantee that you're going to rank somewhere in Google based on the Keyword Discovery Competitive Report. The two most important ones is the average predictability length and the content score. Predictable is a little bit important too, but really the average predictability length and the content score is the one that we have based in the system in terms of all the information. So this number is going to be your score, and it's going to tell you whether you need to go up or down. You can be under optimized, which is a minus of anywhere from 3 to 4 spots, if not more. It could be a minus of 20 spots if you're completely under optimized with the right keywords from the right AIs and not the wrong AIs. Or you could be over optimized as well. Does any other tool tell you that? Some do. But you can be over optimized as well. And as I said, if you are 1 to 10 points under the average content score of your competitors, on average, we can guarantee you a spot boost of 12 spots compared to being over optimized or under optimized in the system. So that's where you would be editing, putting in words. Now, where do you get the words from? All the words are here in the scoring system. The phrases are here as well, and the phrases are scored. The EMQ is going to be highlighted when their article is done. And you see the words are also highlighted as well. It all says 0 because the article is not done yet. And then when the quality report is done, when the article is done, you'll see predictability. You'll see it'll be 0. You'll see the current, and it'll be red or green. Red will tell you need to go up, need to go down. below a certain threshold is good. This is the predictability, the overall predictability. Now, it doesn't matter if an AI generated this or not, and it doesn't matter if we generated it or not. This predictability and this content score will work on your content that you wrote, content that another AI wrote, and it's going to tell you the numbers or content that a human wrote. And it's going to tell you the numbers you need to be at in terms of the semantic scoring, in terms of the Google keywords in the page, and it'll tell you the average predictability per sentence and how that works.
You just click on the green button just to see. I found that if you leave the page and come back, sometimes it does appear, and you think it's still loading, still working, but it's actually done. So that's just another minor little UI UX thing. There you go. It was done, but it's not like refreshing. So
yeah. So like I said, still minor bugs. System's here. So out of the box, it goes really high. And that's on purpose. Out of the box, it writes a very long article that is got a really high content score. And again, that's on purpose so that you have room to trim down, because trimming down is way easier than building up. Building up is much harder. Trimming down is way easier. What would you do to trim it down? Do I have to get in here and start writing it? Remember back in the day for SEO, you'd have to go in and start writing it, and you'd have to understand how small business funding worked as an SEO. You'd have to write a useful and helpful article. Gone are those days. All you need to do now is just use the reduce scores button. So what you do is you go in here, highlight. I would start at the bottom because having more keywords at the top is more valuable. So go down at the bottom and just click the reduce scores. And what it'll do is it'll rewrite it with, it used to be called the improve button. It'll improve the writing, it improves the quality of the writing, it makes it less predictable, and it also makes it less stilted in terms of the SEO scores, makes it less SEO scoring. Now there's some other small things you need to read this. Now, this is true of any AI system that you need to do some editing. When we build the high quality article system, you won't need to do really any editing at all, although you really should. It's still an AI. I wouldn't trust any AI system at this point. Also, what you want to do is when the word score is so high, I would start deleting some of these, is what I would do. So all you have to do is go to the bottom, start removing superfluous content that you don't need. Most pages for small business loans, the median is only 900 words. So you don't need a very long page. You don't want a 3,000 word article, quite frankly. So I would start removing some of these or reducing the scores on some of these. You'll see the word count is going down. And when I rerun the quality score, this will go down after doing a bunch of these. How to choose the right funding option for your business. Small business loans. See the word counts going down. And this is how you trim it down to get your numbers just in the right perfect spot. If you see a list in here, you might want to make a list through the WYSIWYG editor. You can automatically just highlight and make lists. Exploring available grants for small business loans. You barely need to read it, which is so different than the way SEO used to work. The way SEO used to work, you had to become a subject matter expert in this whole thing. Not really anymore. Grants versus loans, what's the difference? That's a good article, right? When it's explaining the different options there for you. And I'll show you how we have something that no other tool does in a second. And then finally, the last paragraph. So let me go back here and check it now that I've reduced the scores for a lot. It's reduced drastically. And now if I check this one should also reduce as well. You should see these red numbers are going down now. It's not a guarantee, but quite frankly, here's the other place you can get an idea. If you're having trouble getting these numbers down, you can highlight this, make sure it's saved. You can go into AI Spy here and go into the AI detection, click on contrast, paste that in here. Is it still only 500 words?
I think it's 1,000.
I'm over 1,000 words, right?
By 700, yeah. So just trim off the bottom, like 3 paragraphs probably.
Yeah, so you can put it in here, analyze the text. It gives you another independent kind of report. Sometimes the HTML can be messing up with that score a little bit, sometimes. And yeah, so we're 4.12. This paragraph is bad, but the other paragraphs are better. This is a better score. This is a fine predictability. This only needs to come down 0.02 to 4.1. So this is actually fine. So back here in the editor, let's go back. So to get this further down, what I would want to do here is I want to start actually getting rid of paragraphs. And I'm just doing this as an example. This is how you would start getting the article down to the actual size of the competitors. The competitors, on average, only have 900 words. So then what you would do is you get that down, you'd click this again, and I might even be too low now. Now I'm even a little too low. 43 is fine. I might want to now click the up score button. So let me click the quality here again. Okay, now it's going down. It's still a little high, but now it's going down, which is interesting. Let me take this here, save it, go back to AI Spy, put it in contrast, put this in here, analyze the text. So this is actually much better
than, yeah.
This is much better than the editor.
So, and not that it's a bad thing, you're probably improving your article even more. If these numbers are skewed higher,
yeah,
we're actually helping the user. But again, they
yes.
should be more online. But at least we're erring on the side of being less predictable, which is better. Yeah,
erring on the side of caution here is good, because if you have AI content, or whether it was written by a human, you really need to hit that 4.1 number or get very close to it. That statistically is where you need to be. And look at the competitors have 4.32, which is interesting. There's some AI content for small business funding there as well. So that basically is how the process. It took me 5 minutes to do this. It takes a very short amount of time to make those articles, which is what you want. You want the articles to be done as fast as possible. That's how you make the money in client SEO. That's how you charge the however much money per month. That's how you get the money, is by speed. SEO is a race, right? You need to be able to build these things quickly. You need to have a tool, even with a little bug here or there. Those will be fixed by next week. Even a little bug here or there, you need to have the tool that shows you the actual points you need on the actual AIs you need, gives you actionable data and gives it to you fast. And that's what our system has, and that's what our system does. So let me check really quickly for questions here. The Furman says, do you have a playlist with more tutorials? I need to understand if I wanted to sell it. Yes, we have more tutorials. We have more shows. Also, we have tutorials built into the system. We have notifications built into the system that are going to help you as well. The Furman asks, do we bring our own open AI key to use the AI writing feature? Not at this time. At this time, you get a credits in the system, and it's based on our OpenAI key. Is that something you'd want? Let us know in the description, or email us and let us know if that's something you'd want to put in your own OpenAI API key. There could be some cost savings there, possibly. That could be possible. We'd have to see. So that's a possibility. We can check that out. So let us know about those things. And also let us know if you have any other questions. Let me just check here really quick. Greg, do you have any other things you want to mention before we sign off?
Yeah, I think there's so much knowledge being shared here from Josh that you can use with your clients when you talk with them on the phone or through email. Share links to the videos that Josh is producing. It's just extremely high level content that you're getting, and it really, well, number one, you should learn it and understand what he's talking about, but also just being able to have some high level explanations of these concepts like BERT and neuromatching and rank brain, and how on page is working, I think just separates you so much from other Fiverr, Upwork folks out there that are trying to sell this stuff at low cost. Because ultimately, if I'm a business and I'm looking to spend even $10, I spend $10 and I get 1% of quality back. I'd rather spend $100 and get 100% of whatever I'm buying. So I just believe in high quality, and that comes at a cost. But I think most people you want to work with are going to fall under that as well, and that philosophy. So yeah, that's pretty much it, Josh. I think a lot of knowledge is being dropped from you on this show, and outside of Keyword Spy, it's just the overall concepts that you're bringing to the table, or from SEO to even just business in general is just massive. So nice job.
Thank you. Yeah, no, well, I've been doing it a long time, and learned many things with very painful lessons. So learn from my mistakes, learn from my pain, is the suggestion. The firm in UK says using our own API would work out cheaper for us and save you the cost. Yeah, it could.
It's actually a minor cost. The cost of Keyword Spy is yes, some of it is through OpenAI, but the majority of it is actually our back end doing a lot of the computations and analyses and scraping and just OpenAI is a large part, but actually a small part, if that makes any sense in terms of cost, for sure. So I wouldn't even think about it. I probably will be increasing credits. We're trying to get a sense of like how many credits are being consumed every month by people. So I've already increased it. I think we started at like 100,000, then I went to 300,000, then I went to 500, then 1 million. So it's just going to continue to go up. So I wouldn't worry about credit so much. Really, the other stuff that we've built in, the proprietary stuff that we're adding in, supported by OpenAI, I think is really the value of the tool, because anyone has access to ChatGPT and can run prompts and do it themselves. But you do that and good luck.
Yeah, no, that's not going to work out well. That's not going to work well at all.
We definitely test this stuff, and Josh is very, very high level in terms of building these prompts. So you're getting I don't know, years of advancement of prompt engineering as it relates to SEO and just LLMs in general.
If it was as easy as just firing up ChatGPT and doing it, we'd be doing it. We have to rebuild entire models, and we need to have AIs talking to AIs, talking to AIs, talking to AIs. We're doing what AutoGPT and Agent GPT is doing, plus a bunch of models that no one else is doing, constructed all into one. So you can't just fire up ChatGPT and do it. You can join Underground University. You can see some of the engineering behind the scenes, and you can see kind of some more of the stuff that we're doing there. So to cap it off, can you charge $2,000 a month for a client? Yes, you can. You can do it. You need to start somewhere. You need to have a tool that you're building off of that helps you get the work done. You need to start somewhere doing client work, doing reports, doing easy stuff. I don't think the $5 reports on Fiverr are really your competitors there. I think that you can do, $5, but then you get this for $5 and this for an extra 15. And by the time you've upsold them on like 5 or 6 extra features that just come out of Keyword Spy out of the box. Be like, I'll charge you $5 for a BERT keyword run, then I'll charge you $5 for neural matching, show them in the page where it says Google's using this, then I'll do a rank brain one for you, then I'll do knowledge graph, then I'll do helpful content for you, then I'll also generate the article. You're doing $5 for each. By the time you're done, you've got whatever, $50, $75, and it takes you 15 minutes to do it. $50 for 15 minutes work is pretty darn good. If you add that up, that's $150 to $200 an hour. $200 a day is not bad. Work for an hour, go drink margaritas on the beach for the rest of the time. That's possible, right? You need to think outside the box. You need to have the entrepreneurial spirit. You need to have the courage that you can do it. You need to have the grind. You need to have the ingenuity. And you need to have the right knowledge and the right tools. This is the show for the right knowledge, and this is the tool for the right tool. So good luck, guys. I hope that helps you out. If you have any questions at all, always email me at joshbachynski@gmail.com. Go to trykeywordspy.com and try free for 2 weeks. No credit card needed, and try it now. Try it at the price of $144 and get on that grandfather price, where we still have the little bug here or there to work out, but it'll be working. It does work, and it'll be working without those bugs within a week. And make some money. You can do it. You can do it. Believe in yourself. Email me if you have any questions, and we'll see you guys next time.